Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Jess beat Spencer in St. Elizabeth Northeast PNP runoff. Attorney at law Zalika Jess has beaten current Spencer, receiving the majority of votes from delegates of the opposition People's National Party PNP in an internal election to represent the party in St. Elizabeth Northeastern in the next parliamentary election. Director of the election told journalists that Jess polled 569 votes to Spencer's 209. There were 1,274 delegates eligible to vote during the internal election at the St. Elizabeth Technical High School in Santa Cruz. Shortly before the end of voting, jubilant Jess supporters and delegates hoisted placards bearing her image outside the entrance of the polling station. At the start of the voting, there was a verbal clash between supporters of Spencer and Jess. Long considered a stronghold of the People's National Party, St. Elizabeth Northeastern was lost to the ruling Jamaica Labour Party Delroy Slood in 2020 general election, representing one of the shock results of the election, which the JLP won in a landslide. In that election, Jess lost in her bid to wrest the Clarendon Central seat from JLP's Mike Henry. Spencer, who had won the St. Elizabeth Northeastern seat for the PNP in 2007, was forced to walk away from representational politics in the build-up in the 2011 general election following corruption charges, which were eventually dismissed relating to the Cuban light bulb scandal. Current Spencer is currently the chairman of the People's National Party Region 5, consisting of Manchester and St. Elizabeth.
I am absolutely thrilled. I am elated. I have an immense sense of gratitude. I'm grateful to the people of Northeast St. Elizabeth. I'm grateful to my team, to the councillors of Northeast St. Elizabeth, the next councillor as well, the former member of parliament, and by and large the entire people of this constituency, because they have carried me on their backs and they have carried me in their hearts. It is quite an emotional victory, because this is a victory that was won only because we had the support of the people.
Unidentified man killed in Seaview Gardens. Detectives assigned to the St. Andrew South Criminal Investigations Branch are seeking the public's help in identifying the body of a man who was shot and killed on Atlantic Boulevard in Seaview Gardens, St. Andrew on Sunday. The deceased is of brown complexion, medium build and about 5 feet 7 inches long, appears to be in his mid-20s and has a cornrow hairstyle. The man was clad in a grey t-shirt, blue jeans and white Reebok shoes. Reports are that about 12:05 a.m., residents heard explosions and summoned the police. On their arrival, the now deceased was seen lying on the roadway with gunshot wounds. He was pronounced dead at hospital. Anyone with information that can assist the police in their investigation is asked to contact the Hunts Bay CIB at 876-923-7111, Police 119 emergency number, or the nearest police station. Businessman shot dead at St. Anne's Bay home, firearm stolen. A businessman was gunned down and his last firearm stolen in St. Anne's Bay on Sunday morning. The deceased has been identified as 41-year-old Andrew Dawkins of Gully Road, St. Anne's Bay in the parish. Police report that Dawkins was in his community when he was pounced upon by unknown assailants who opened fire hitting him. His licensed 9mm Glock pistol was reportedly stolen in the process. The police were called to the scene and he was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Popular jerk chicken vendor dies in car crash, misses Father's Day celebration. A man died as a result of injuries he sustained after his vehicle went over a precipice in Rio Grande Valley in Portland on Sunday morning. Relatives identified him as Gilbert Hall, a jerk pork vendor of Prospect Land Settlement. Reports were that early on Sunday morning, Hall was driving a Toyota station wagon motor car along the main road when he lost control of the vehicle, causing it to go over a precipice and landed in a ravine. Hall was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. His daughter Terrian said she had plans of treating him for Father's Day. She said she was shocked when she heard the news and had to view his body to confirm that he had really died.
This morning I make it up, so I go wash some clothes. See time here, my mother phone ring. She get the call that my father passed off. But for me, she replied, she said, what? What you say? I say, "Mummy, what?" She not tell me, say, "Mummy, what?" I say, "Mummy, tell me what." He saying, Yes, your father crash and I did know. You see, I drove can't make man. So I say, me call it two number them, no response to number. I say, me nah, only saying that it know, because I want to make certain. I call my brother, I say, why you carry me up the scene with them saying that, because I want to make certain say him. But I go out there, I see the crowd and I said Michael, but they never accompanied me out of the gully. So I did there and I wait. And when they do come up with him, I asked if I can see him. They said, no, I have to come up by the hospital to see him. When I go up there, them open the pan and them told him, look, just listen to my father lie down, the truth.
Police urge public to desist from posting misinformation about Daniel Rowe investigation. The police are urging the public to desist from posting misleading information about the abduction and murder of 8-year-old Daniel Rowe. The advisory follows a composition sketch of a female person of interest that was released recently in relation to the case. In a press release, the police noted that a trend has emerged on various social media platforms since the release of the sketch, where individuals are sharing images and crafting narratives about women who have absolutely no connection to the ongoing investigation. The police say, while they understand that some individuals may share such content out of concern and a desire to assist, there are others who are doing so with malicious intent or even for personal gain. The constable noted that their behavior is not only irresponsible and detrimental to the investigation, but it also puts innocent lives at risk and can potentially impede the course of justice. It is urging everyone to exercise caution, responsibility, and respect for the rule of law when engaging with this sensitive matter on social media. Meanwhile, Government Senator Fitzheadley has called for amendments to critical legislation to discourage persons from creating public mischief online. Making his maiden presentation as he opened the State of the Nation debate in the Senate on Friday, Senator Fitzheadley lamented that misinformation abounds. Senator Fitzheadley cited the recent case in Ocho St. Anne, noting that the public mischief law needs to be more fit for purpose.
People are willing to send fake news around in order to cause significant public disorder and major reputational damage, and some merely to bring attention to themselves. Colleagues, today I'm calling for an amendment to the public mischief aspect of the law to take into consideration the digital age and how some people use technology for damaging purposes and to create public disorder. A case in point happened in Ocho not too long ago, but they cannot charge that individual under the public mischief law because a key element of that is that a false complaint has to be filed with the police. I'm of the view, Senator Sinclair, that the public mischief law has to be urgently amended to make it fit for purpose, even as we are over 2 decades into the 21st century. Other countries have done it. It's time that we get it done. I also support the call for Jamaica to consider taking legislative steps to outlaw the mischievous use of the new automation in town, artificial intelligence.
Late SSP Delroy Hewitt given full police honors at funeral. The late retired Senior Superintendent of Police Delroy Hewitt was given a full police honor sent-off at his homegoing ceremony at the Boulevard Baptist Church. Hundreds of persons turned up to support Hewitt's family and colleagues from the Jamaica Constabulary Force. In paying tribute to Hewitt, Chairman of the Police Office Association Senior Superintendent Wade Cameron noted that Hewitt's death is a great loss to his relatives and friends. SSP Cameron noted that Hewitt had a passion for children and crime fighting, was fearless, and was feared by criminals. He said Hewitt was respected by many.
We can recall when a particular human rights group came at Delroy and a couple other officers, Bo Rigaby and Arthur Brown, I can recall, insisting that they be not promoted because of their tough stance against gangsters. These officers were able to weather those storms, coming out elevated and victorious. SSP Hewitt maintained excellent interpersonal skills with political leaders, especially at the constituency level, and he often met with area leaders, many of whom assisted in organizing community meetings and worked alongside him in keeping the respective communities safe and secure. Hewitt also maintained an excellent relationship with his junior staff, commanding the desired respect of a leader who knew the ground and got the job done well. One of his methods of motivation, of motivating his staff, was to award post-awards function for them. Today, Delroy Hewitt remains one of the most successful officers to reduce serious crimes in the St. Andrews South Division. Today, we must pause to thank the Commissioner of Police and acknowledge that after numerous appeals and the lamentation by many of removing the police honors from funeral ceremonies for retirees, that SSP Delroy Hewitt, being a stalwart and a true legend, is being sent off with police honors. Commissioner, we believe this is a step in the right direction, and the benefit of this is not just for us police officers, but for the families and friends of our deceased colleagues, and more so, the communities we serve daily. As we mourn the passing of Mr. Hewitt, let's take heart that he ran an excellent race, and one that many of us will speak of for years to come, and to console ourselves that as the backbone of our nation's defense and internal security against criminals and terrorist-like attacks, we remain patriotic and resolute in the face of all adversaries.
Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification